and welcome to this edition of The Boston Show. I'm your host, Francesco Tartaglia. Last week in Boston, Mayor Walsh kicked off the holiday season with Small Business Saturday. The mayor joined Roslindale Village Main Street's members to shop small and support the local economy through his 5 on Main campaign.
Many of our shops are here today. They're the lifeblood of our community. They keep our community going year long. They're involved with our little leagues and soccer leagues and with the farmers market and everything that goes on in this great neighborhood.
The 5 on Main Challenge asks residents to support local businesses at least 5 times during the holiday season, either by purchasing gifts, dining, or participating in local holiday events in Main Street districts. Friends of Copley Square lit their annual Christmas tree this week. The free event featured appearances by Mayor Walsh, Neckin's Jenny Johnson, Santa Claus, and even Rudolph, along with some great musical performances.
Oh, bring us a figgy pudding, oh, bring us a figgy pudding, oh, bring us a figgy pudding, and a cup of good cheer.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better.
Italian marketplace Eataly opened up their newest location in the Commonwealth. Eataly Boston features 4 restaurants, 10 eateries, 2 cafes, 3 bars, and 10,000 items for sale in a 45,000 square foot marketplace spread across 3 floors of the Prudential Center.
We have a global city, and we have a lot of draws to our city, but Eataly is certainly going to be one of the premier draws here in the city of Boston.
The first Eataly was opened in Torino, Italy in 2007 with the hopes of making high-quality Italian food more accessible to all. Now, as famous chef Mario Battelli and Mayor Walsh cut the ribbon on the new location, the company hopes Boston will represent an opportunity for Eataly to focus more on seafood and food sustainability.
We're really about being part of Boston, not just rolling into Boston and showing you that we know what to do. We have a lot to learn from you, you have a lot to learn from us, and in that shared kind of harmony, we will find a place where we can all be comfortable here.
With more than 30 Eataly stores across the world, including locations in New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles, Boston represents the newest location of the Eataly brand. The City of Boston and the Office of Immigrant Advancement hosted the 11th annual We Are Boston Gala. The event is a night full of multicultural music, food, and dance, all meant to empower immigrant residents and recognize their contributions to the city, while celebrating Boston's diverse culture.
Our mayor has stood tall. He has stood tall by working with our partners on Citizenship Days to make sure that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Bostonians who are close to becoming citizens have the opportunity to become citizens at no legal cost to them.
This year, Diane Guerrero, star of Orange is the New Black, received a special proclamation from the city.
At this point in our nation's history, it is important for cities like Boston to celebrate our diversity and not to shrink in the presence of those who want to divide us.
The We Are Boston Anniversary Gala is the city's biggest celebration of diversity, immigrant heritage, and contributions. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Boston Housing Authority announced a proposed rule to make the nation's public housing properties entirely smoke-free.
It means that there can be no smoking within 25 feet of a public housing building.
The proposed rule by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development would require more than 3,100 public housing agencies across the country to implement smoke-free policies in their developments within 18 months. Boston city officials met with Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil and Halifax Regional Municipality Mayor Mike Savage to mark the 99th anniversary of the Halifax explosion. Strong ties have existed between the two areas ever since the City of Boston sent relief to Nova Scotia after a French cargo ship filled with high explosives collided with a Norwegian vessel, causing a large explosion devastating the Richmond district of Halifax in 1917.
In our time of greatest need in the city of Halifax, that the people of Boston got the word and were immediately helping our city. Hundreds of nurses, doctors came. A great amount of support came from Boston. And it means a lot to the people of Halifax.
The city also unveiled a campaign for the 100th anniversary next year called 100 Years, 100 Stories, encouraging Nova Scotians and Bostonians to remember this moment in their shared histories.
The connection between us runs deep. It's one of gratitude and thanks, but it's also building on a legacy and tradition of supporting and helping one another when we needed that, but also celebrating and working together for the betterment of our respective communities and respective states and provinces.
Halifax will also be giving Boston Common its Christmas tree, a tradition that was started in 1918 as a sign of gratitude for all that was done. The tradition was revived in 1971 and has been going strong ever since. City Hall held their annual holiday phone-a-thon. Thanks to AT&T, Boston residents were able to make a 30-minute phone call for free to anywhere in the world. Calls were made to places like China, Cabo Verde, Haiti, Russia, and Sierra Leone. Development team Samuel & Associates celebrated the topping off of their new 24-story building in the Fenway District. Located at the corner of Boylston Street and Brookline Avenue, the tower hopes to raise the profile of the Fenway neighborhood and add a contemporary sophistication to Boston's skyline.
This tower is going to not just help us achieve our housing goals, but it's going to enhance the community, and it's going to be environmentally responsible, something that's really important for us.
Pierce Boston will be comprised of 109 condominium units, 240 rental units, and more than 20,000 square feet of street-level retail and restaurant space. To watch any event covered in its entirety, stay tuned to Boston City TV. And to watch all new episodes of The Boston Show, tune in at 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Thanks for joining us for this edition of The Boston Show.